all the parts you're going to need laid out for assembling the Gorilla cart. Directions. Doesn't look like it's going to be too much. Doesn't come with the tools, so I will show you guys the tools I'm going to be using as well. Alright, these are the tools that will be required. 13 millimeter. You could use a wrench if you wanted. I'm just using 2 sockets. 13 millimeter. Gonna use some grips, wire cutters to get off the twist ties, and of course a blade to open up the box. So pretty straightforward. Alright, so here's a pro tip when you're first starting out for step 1. What I did is I just propped it up on the side, and I took the number 1 bolts, which are pretty straightforward. Flathead, mark number 1, just pushed them through, just like that. All 4 are in there. Then I took the locking mechanism, sorry for the fingers, right here, and I just set it, because I'm doing this by myself, on the side, so this would stay standing up. So you can see it's all standing up nice and easy. And then I can just take this and one-handed here, hanging on. All right, so we're going to move on to step number 2, and we're going to be installing the pulley system and the dumping system. And so there's 2 nuts, but what's important with this one is this little piece here needs to go in between these 2. So we're just basically gonna pop that in there, and then we're gonna slide this down to where it lines up, and then our washer and our nut will go on. And we'll do the same thing. I've already installed the little black hinge point and the washer and the nut. And I'll do that when I can use 2 hands, and we'll move on to the next step. Okay, we're moving on to step 3, which is going to be installing the rear wheels. And a couple notes: when you tip it up this time, you can actually use this foot to stabilize the whole thing, but be careful because it does want to swivel. What I did is, before I placed this bar on, I went ahead and put all 4 bolts through. These 2 are the short ones, and these 2 are the long ones, and the long ones are going to actually go through this section right here. Once I had the bolts through, then I just put the nut and washer on, and then you can see I haven't put the nut and washer on here. I'm going to tighten this down a little bit over here, and then I'll maneuver. These are loose, and you can move them around to actually fit on there. So I'll go ahead and put that together, and then we'll move on to the next step. All right, we are on to step 4, which is assembling the tires. You will have to take off the plastic pieces that are protecting the metal there, and then just simply slide the wheel on. Make sure your stem is out so you can put air in them. You don't want to have it backwards, as it would go on backwards, but that would make it a lot harder for maintenance. Then you'll put your washer on, and then we're going to put the little pin in. If I can get it open, sorry. Alright, so this little pin slides down in there, and then you just lock it down, and it can't come out of there. And all 4 wheels are now on, and we are on to step number 5. All right, the 5th step is to install the locking mechanism. The one thing I will call out that's a little bit different in this setup is the washers are going to go on the bolt side and not on the nut side, which is a little bit different, but that's because these are actually formed to fit the nut inside there, so they're locked in pretty easy. And then you just tighten down the bolt side of it in here, and and then you're good to go. And then the sixth step is to install the handle, which is really easy. I just tipped it up, slipped the bolt through, and then again put the nut and washer on there, and voila, we have a finished product.